Hi, my name is Sasha. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you or telling you about the last 5 graphic novels that I read. This doesn't have to be just graphic novels. I'm also including manga and comic bind-ups. I decided to start doing this series because I have been reading a lot of graphic novels and other graphic media lately, and I thought, why not update people? I'm sure you care a little, at least, if you're subscribed to my channel. And I have some interesting ones here. So I'll start out with the first one. I read Bury the Lead by Gabby Dunn with art by Claire Rowe. If you've watched the last couple of my videos or have been on my channel for a while, you probably have heard me talk about this before. It's an arc that I got in November, I believe. It's about Madison Jackson, who works for the newspaper The Boston Lead, and is an intern, but wants to be a reporter. And she gets embroiled in this murder case where the murderer will only speak to her, and she gets wrapped up in government corruption and all that good stuff. I loved this. I think I gave it 5 stars. It was so layered and intense, and the story was just like completely like on its own train tracks. Like, it went forward and never stopped. And I've heard a lot of reviews that have called it confusing, but I never felt confused or disjointed by it. It was just a fun time, and the art was really nice. Claire Rowe did a good job. The next one I read was Fun Home, a family tragicomic by Alison Bechdel. I think I gave this 3 stars. I did not like this as much as I wanted to, because I know Alison Bechdel. Alison Bechdel or Bechdel is a lesbian, and she's prominent in the LGBTQ community. And I wanted to like her memoir, because this is a graphic memoir. It was just, I could not emotionally connect to anybody in this story. It was very difficult to feel anything because it's told in such a dry way that it has a narrative voice. It has a strong narrative voice, but it's so dry that it was hard to feel anything but apathy for these characters, even though they're real people, but for the story itself. Because it's about Alison Bechdel growing up with her father, who struggled with his sexuality, and then her own struggle with her sexuality, and kind of how they intersect, and also the death of her father, and how she came to terms with all of it. This is some of the art style. The art was good. I think Allison did the art, and it did match with the story in the way that it was very dry and not accented or like embellished in any way. It just was not the kind of thing that I like. I do enjoy some graphic memoirs, but they're not my favorite genre of graphic novel, and this was just not the book for me, I think. Next, okay, this is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me by Mariko Tamaki with art by Rosemary Valero O'Connell. I loved this book so much. This was so beautiful, and just like, I gave it 5 stars. It's one of my favorite graphic novels of all time now. Like, I love it just to the end of the world and back. And I would die for these characters, except for Laura Dean, because she's trash. And just, here, let me show you some of the art, because it is truly gorgeous. The story is gorgeous. Here. I don't know if it's focusing, but there's other ones I can show you that just, the art blew me away. It was so It's a black and white and pink art style, which is to die for. And it's so aesthetic. It's absolutely wonderful. So it's about, what's her name? It's about Freddie, who is dating this girl called Laura Dean, but Laura Dean keeps breaking up with her. And Laura Dean, it's a toxic relationship. Laura Dean is a toxic person. And it's about Freddie's realization that Laura Dean is not someone she wants to have in her life, and that she values her friendships more. There are so many good messages in this book, and it values queerness, and it tells it with such a tender heart, and I love this book so much. Like, I want my own copy. This is the library's copy, and I've already messed it up a little by having it on my kitchen counter, but I would die for, like, all of these characters. This was so beautiful, and seriously, it's either going to be on my best, because I do like to separate my best of the years videos into, like, best novels and best graphic novels, but this just might be on my best novels, because this is just one of the best books I've read, and I can't believe it's January, and I've already found one. Like, I'm so happy. I love this book. Next is another graphic memoir called Dear Scarlett, The Story of My Postpartum Depression by Teresa Wong. And this is, as it says on the tin, Teresa Wong's story of postpartum depression after she had her daughter Scarlett. It's written as a letter to her daughter, and it's kind of talks about how hard motherhood is and how alienating it can be and how you lose parts of yourself, but also just how rewarding being a mother is and how wonderful bringing a baby into this world is with help, because being a mom is such a huge job. Being a parent is such a huge job, and you need help. You need the help of the people who love you and people around you and people who you pay even, just to help you know that you're valued and that you have someone there for you when you need help with this child. And this is really what this book talks about in earnest. And it was very beautiful. And here's some of the art. Chinese postpartum food. Her mom is so cute, and just all the talk about motherhood and self and being a human being who just birthed another human being it was beautiful. Probably one of the better graphic memoirs I've read. I haven't read a ton, but this was probably one of the better ones. The last graphic novel was actually a comic bind-up, and that is Invisible Kingdom Volume 1 by G. Willow Wilson and Christian Ward. This is it's divided into two perspectives. It's from the perspective of Grix and her team of deliverers of packages. They're a cargo ship, and they get into some trouble around this this planet called Dooney. And then this other character, Vess, who travels from her planet Rule and travels to this space monastery to become a nun. And nun is spelled N-O-N-E in this book. If you're a nun, you become an N-O-N-E, like not N-U-N. Although the implication is that you're also an N-U-N. Anyway, I mean, all you had to tell me about this book was that there's space nuns, and I would have read it. And the space nunnery is so badass and, like, ridiculously cool. Just this whole comic series is ridiculously cool. It's really a commentary on consumerism, which I did not expect. There's this big bad corporation called Lux, which is basically Amazon in this world, and Lux is like they deliver packages and people wait all day for these packages to feel happy, which is basically our world now. It's just not in space. Another thing I loved about this was that it was all aliens. There was like no human beings in this. It's all aliens, and they all are like so varied and like interesting looking. Let me see if I can find some pictures of them. And it's a huge commentary on consumerism and capitalism and the people we trust. Here's some good art. That's what the nuns look like. And it was just really, really rad. And I loved it. I think I gave it 4 stars. There's a female-female romance. As much as 2 aliens can be female, I suppose they could. Although, there is some gender diversity in this, where one of the things I really enjoy about alien species is that they don't have to be on the human gender binary. And this exploits that, which I love. And it was just really cool. It's really, really cool, and I would never pick this up, except I found it in my library's, like, new books, like, new graphic novel thing, and I was like, Invisible Kingdom, and then I read Space Nuns, and I was like, gotta read it, so I did, and I liked it a lot, and I would recommend it if your library has this, or if you want to check it out, buy it, whatever you want to do. But if I was going to really recommend any of these, it would be Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. Please read it. I'm going to be that person now. It's going to be the only thing I talk about for the rest of my life is Laura Dean Keeps Breaking Up With Me. And I can't wait to get myself my own copy. So, yeah. That's the last 5 graphic novels I've read. Comment down below what you've read, what graphic novels you read, or what you're reading. Because I love hearing what other people are reading. If there's any graphic novels you want me to check out. And that's all for me for now. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye.